Hey guys, in this week's video I'm going to be teaching you 5 ways to DJ just like Martin Garrix. Before we get into it, I've got a big announcement to make. Drum roll please. I've just launched my advanced DJing course at beginnerdjlessons.com. So if you go to the site, there's a beginner course, an intermediate course, and now an advanced DJing course that'll teach you everything you need to know to become an absolutely amazing DJ. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay guys, so I've watched tons of Martin Garrix DJ sets online, including seeing him live myself 3 times, and I found 2 clips of him online where you can actually watch him DJing, which I'm going to be referring to throughout this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first tip is an easy one and a straightforward one, which is Martin Garrix plays a lot of Martin Garrix songs. If you want your DJ sets to sound more like Martin Garrix, you've got to make sure about 90% of the songs you play are Martin Garrix tracks. The other thing you'll notice that if you watch him live, if he does play other people's music, it's often a Martin Garrix remix or mashup of someone else's track, where he may take one of his own drops and put it over someone else's track. So every single track that he plays has his own kind of style or flavour to it. So that's tip number 1. Guys, the next 3 tips I'm going to be giving you are all to do with DJing, and there's a big spoiler alert for you as well. Martin Garrix doesn't particularly do anything advanced in his DJ sets. He just does the basics very, very well. So with that being said, let's get into tip number 2. For all you newbies out there, Martin Garrix does every single song blend with a technique called beat matching. This is where you get 2 tracks, you make sure they're the same speed, and then you bring one track in so the 2 beats are exactly the same. The beauty of this is it makes it sound like it's one continuous song and it never really stops. Because the 2 beats match, you can just bring one in and take one song away, and it just feels like one song will flow perfectly from one into the next. If you watch this video here, you can see Martin Garrix playing with the tempo slider. On my DJ decks, it looks like this. This is the thing you would use to make sure that the 2 tracks are exactly the same speed. In this clip here, you can see Martin Garrix hit the play button and then instantly start moving the jog wheel. What he's doing here is making sure that the 2 beats are perfectly aligned. If you touch the outer ring of your jog wheel like you saw him do in the video, what it does is it nudges the song slightly forward or slightly back. So after he's pressed play, if he's not happy with the fact that the 2 tracks are perfectly aligned, he'll move his jog wheel forward or back and it'll nudge the 2 songs closer together. There's actually one other really quick tip I wanted to throw in there. I'm about to do a blend that Martin Garrix did in this video we were just looking at a second ago. And I wanted to just say that the 2 tracks I'm blending into each other are both the same key. They are both 6A. This is really relevant because if you mix 2 tracks that are exactly the same key, they will sound perfect together. So this is another thing that Martin Garrix is obviously very aware of when it comes to doing his own DJ sets, mixing in key. If you guys want to see more on that subject, click this link up here. The third tip I wanted to give you guys is that Martin Garrix is very good at something called phrase matching. This is something that a lot of beginner DJs don't know much about, but once you learn it and you know it and understand it, it'll take your DJ skills to that next level. In a nutshell, a lot of dance music has different sections to it, like an intro, an outro, a drop, and often all these sections are exactly the same length, 16 bars on average. Now, the beauty of understanding phrases is it means you can start bringing in an intro and an outro at the exact same time, and the one song will almost bleed perfectly into the next song because the 2 sections you played are exactly the same length. Let me give you an example of a couple of different phrases. Firstly, the beginning of the song is a new phrase. So, the beginning of this song sounds like this. The next phrase after that will actually come at the end of the intro, and you can hear the song completely changes. Let's have a listen. That was the beginning of a new phrase. Another phrase would be the beginning of the drop. Let's have a listen. Drop. And that's a new phrase as well. So what you'll often see Martin Garrix doing is waiting until the drop and then hitting play on the intro of track B, or the second track that he's bringing in. You can see him do it in this clip here. This is an awesome way to keep the energy levels up in your DJ sets, because as soon as the drop finishes, it almost feels like you're into the guts of the second song. In most cases, you're kind of already building to the next drop, straight after the drop that's just finished. Let me give you a quick demonstration of how this works. So as you can see on Serato here, I've got track A just about to enter the drop of Wizard. I've also got track B lined up on the first beat of the song. As soon as that drop passes this point, I'm going to bring in the first beat of the intro of track B. I'm going to make sure that the volume is all the way down, and if I bring it in slightly late or slightly early, I will use the jog wheel just to nudge the song forward or back. Let me give you a quick example. So, there you go. Because YouTube won't allow me to actually play these songs, I'm going to put my DJ deck in roll mode, and I'm going to quickly beat skip forward with the two tracks perfectly in line to the end of the drop. As for the actual blend itself, Martin Garrix tends to keep it quite simple. He'll just take away some of the lows of track B, he'll bring up the volume and reintroduce some of the lows, and when the end of the drop of track A finishes, he'll take the volume away. You can see him do it in this clip here. Make sure you have a look at what he's doing, and also listen out for how the one song bleeds perfectly into the next. Because the two phrases of these songs line up so perfectly, you'll notice that my blend is identical to his. And you'll notice the two blends were absolutely identical, and they will be every time due to phrase matching, which is what Martin Garrix is really, really good at. So guys, the fourth tip I wanted to give you is that Martin Garrix is very good at keeping his audience on their feet and moving through songs quickly. He does this by only ever playing one of the drops in the song. In other words, what I'm saying is he doesn't always play the songs all the way through. Usually he'll just play the intro all the way up to the first drop and then bring in a second track after that. Or alternatively, sometimes what he'll do is use the second half of the song and play the second drop in a song. So this is a cool little tip for you guys out there. You don't always have to use the first drop. So as you can see on my Serato here, what I've done is I've gone all the way to the end of the first drop to the phrase that happens just after the first drop finishes. In this song Wizard, it sounds a little bit like this. So guys, as long as you fully understand phrase matching, you could actually bring in a track from that phrase of the song rather than the intro phrase of a song. Another cool little tip that'll keep your audience on their toes, just like Martin Garrix does. The fifth tip I want to give you guys is to just have fun and enjoy yourself. If we were all to just take one thing from watching Martin Garrix DJ, is he's enjoying every moment of it and he's interacting with the crowd in front of him. Even if you were to look at this clip of him here, standing in a radio studio, probably surrounded by about 4 or 5 people, he's jumping up and down, smiling, engaging with the people that are around him, which makes him such a good DJ. You have to think, all these songs that he's playing, he's probably heard thousands of times, and most of them he actually made himself. So he's heard these tracks thousands of times, and he's acting like it's the first time he's heard them, and he's enjoying the tracks just as much as everyone else is enjoying the tracks. So if you were to take one other tip from Martin Garrix, is to smile, enjoy what you're doing, act like it's the first time you're hearing the songs, and engage with your audience by smiling at them and making eye contact with them. This is a really cool tip that you can take, and it'll take your performance to a much more personable level if the audience see you enjoying what you're doing as well. So there we go guys, there's 5 really cool tips that you can take from Martin Garrix, start to apply to your own DJ set, and I'm sure it will take your DJ skills to that next level. If you guys are interested in becoming superstar DJs just like Martin Garrix, unfortunately you have to actually start producing your own music and not just playing other people's music. So eventually one day you can play out only your songs, just like Martin Garrix only plays out his songs. So if you guys are interested in learning how to produce your own dance music, I've also got a full course teaching people how to make their own dance music from the basics at beginnerabletonlessons.com. So make sure you go and check that out as well. Finally guys, I just wanted to say, if you've enjoyed this video and you feel like you've learned something, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more weekly DJ videos. And if you think I missed anything, leave a comment because I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.